Right now, Fort Collins Police is asking for your help finding this woman, Mary. Police didn't give us her last name. They say no one has heard from her since 3 yesterday afternoon. They think she left her home in northwest Fort Collins shortly after to drive to Timnath. Police say Mary has a cognitive impairment and her family is concerned about her welfare. Police say she drives a car just like this one, a light blue Toyota with a sticker on the rear window that says either Angels on board or Driving with Angels. If you've seen Mary or know where she is, you're asked to call Fort Collins Police. That number is on your screen.
Well, in just a couple of hours, one of the 2 people accused in the murder of 2 children in Pueblo County is set to be arraigned. Jesus Dominguez is the biological father of the 2 children, Yesenia and Jesus. Back in January, Pueblo police discovered Yesenia's remains inside a metal container filled with concrete inside a storage unit. A few days later, police found the body of her brother in a suitcase inside a car. They tracked that car to Corena Minjares, who is Dominguez's girlfriend and has no relation to the kids. The kids were just 3 and 5 years old when they were last seen in 2018. Dominguez's arraignment is set to start at 8:15 this morning. Minjares will also be in court this morning for a hearing. Police in
Police in Commerce City are trying to track down someone who robbed a deaf man at gunpoint. This happened Sunday night. Police say the man told officers he was heading home after he withdrew cash from an ATM along East 64th Avenue when a car cut him off near Highway 85 and Highway 2. Then 3 men got out of the car, forced him out at gunpoint. Police say one of those men stole the cash he withdrew and then took off. If you know anything about what happened, call Commerce City Police.
The $24.6 billion business deal between Kroger and Albertsons is on pause. A federal judge out of Oregon and a state judge out of Washington ruled against a merger between the 2 grocery chains yesterday. 90s legal experts say that nothing is set in stone, but it doesn't look good. The local union representing grocery store workers say that this legal fight should be put to rest.
We think that this judge got it right, and we call on Kroger and Albertsons, instead of spending more money, billions of dollars, to try to keep up this fight. We want them to abandon the fight, to reinvest in their stores, to add proper staffing, to better the consumer shopping experience, to create a more competitive market, invest in their businesses here, and to operate as 2 separate entities.
The merger has been tabled for now, and Kroger says that the company is reviewing its options.
The Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office is stepping in to cover patrols in Georgetown because they don't have any officers anymore. County commissioners approved the move yesterday. The Sheriff's Office says the police department is down to 0 officers after a flurry of resignations following the shooting death of Christian Glass. The Sheriff's Office is based in Georgetown and already provides some services there. Now deputies will be out on patrol 3 days a week, and the town will get a bill for each after-hours 911 call on the other 4 days a week. This will go through May of next year. Right now, some businesses, living spaces, and other areas are required to have a certain amount of parking spaces per person or per square foot of a business.
Yeah, but now Denver is actually looking at potentially getting rid of those parking minimums. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi is live in Denver. Lauren, explain to us how this would work.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So this is not going to be retroactive. So for example, your parking space in your apartment that you're living in right now, that's not going to change. Maybe at your favorite restaurant, your favorite store, parking will stay the same there too. So if this does get the green light, this will be for new developments, new businesses. Denver hopes getting rid of these parking minimum requirements accomplishes a few things. First, cutting down time reviewing development applications, more space to develop more housing rather than needing a really big amount of space for a parking structure, and making housing cheaper to build by leaving the amount of parking in the hands of the developer based on demand.
So the parking requirements are expensive, and estimates can see them as high as $50,000 a parking space for structured parking. All of those costs get passed on to consumers. So even if you don't drive, you're paying for parking. And it's in the cost of housing, it's the cost of goods and services that get passed on to everyone.
Right now, the city is doing research and community outreach. Eventually, it would go in front of the city council for a vote, and it could go into effect next summer. Coming up in the next hour, I'll explain what people against this are saying. Live in Denver, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
As if finding parking already isn't hard enough sometimes. Yep. This will make it even more difficult. All right, Lauren, thank you.
6:07 now on your Wednesday morning. And during his first term, President-elect Donald Trump's Justice Department secretly obtained records of dozens of people, including his pick to lead the FBI, Kash Patel. According to a watchdog report released yesterday, the DOJ obtained records from 2 members of Congress and 43 staffers. The department was investigating leaked information at the time. Patel and 2 members of Congress are not named in the report, but 2 sources told NBC News that Patel was targeted, along with Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. Patel was a staffer for the House Intelligence Committee at the time. Several reporters asked Patel questions about the report while he was in between meetings with lawmakers on Capitol Hill yesterday. He did not respond.
President-elect Trump has picked Andrew Ferguson to serve as chairman of the Federal Trade Commission. Ferguson is currently working with the agency as a commissioner. The FTC's primary goal is to protect people from deceptive or unfair business practices. Trump also made a trio of picks that will serve as ambassadors around the globe. We'll talk about those coming up at 6:30.
Well, this isn't exactly a barn burner of a snowstorm for us in the mountains, but over the last 3 days, we've picked up, in most cases here, a couple of inches of snow. And Winter Park's case, a pretty decent helping of fresh powder, 10 inches of snow, most of that coming between Monday night and Tuesday morning, between yesterday morning. And Snowmass, Aspen also getting a few inches of snow out there as well. In Denver, we're calmer today, low 50s with mostly sunny skies and less wind compared to yesterday. Brianna?
Chris, thank you so much for those heading out the door right now. We do have a crash for those heading into Boulder this morning. So this is just off Highway 36, right at the intersection of 108th Avenue and Wadsworth. So crews right now have that intersection blocked off and they're investigating this crash. I just checked the closest camera that we have. So if this is part of your morning drive, you definitely want to avoid that intersection until it clears up this morning.